Hello and welcome. This is Cacti Twig doing the second half of the TJ versus Kevin game. And for all those disappointed that I'm not doing the Scott and Pat game, fair. I'll get to that one. I haven't downloaded it yet, and honestly, I was too lazy to. So we're doing this one, and it's my channel. I can do what I want. No, I'll get around to it. I'll do my best. This is a really good game though, so I definitely want to see the second half. Very selfishly. So as an example here, and it's easy to focus on defense a lot just because it's usually like good defensive principles are happening in front of the camera for this league here. So right now, let's see if I can find myself. Okay, I'm guarding the off handler. The off handler's doing the correct job, 45 degrees back. And so right here, instead of going up and just marking him honest, I'm actually going to hang back and sit in this open space. I look upfield. I steal a glance upfield. I see Johnny making a cut open there. So I just go and I take that away. And I say, hey, if you want to throw something back to this guy, that's fine. Or if you want to try something like that, I'm going to at least harass the throw and cut off a lot of that angle there. So, could have been a lot worse. And yeah, I was kind of poaching that area there, so it made that throw harder. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be focusing explicitly on offensive decision making, but this was not the play. It's like threw two people there above the top. That's just it's alright though, but it's not the play. That's something that our team definitely needs to work on, just having a lot more chill. Unless it's poached, in which case that's fine. And yeah, that worked out really well. Mostly just the defense wasn't ready on that transition. One thing that can help is to echo calls on the field. That'll definitely help with that communication. I think they just weren't ready to play defense there. I think Paul might have been talking to me about that. Yeah, Palms' hammer pulls are incredible because they have like some wobble somehow without actually uh, not going anywhere, which is pretty cool. So the cut that Kevin was doing that whole game was coming out here and going deep, and we had a hard time reacting to it. But that was kind of in our game plan to take that away, him and Johnny more dedicatedly. So that was another reason why it opened up. It was kind of in our game plan to have done that. And Aaron, super high effort defense there, almost gets it. That was so athletic. That was awesome. Yep, good job taking the open hands there. Yeah, and that is a hard thing with those arounds. And here we might have forced it a little, but maybe that was also just a really good defensive play right there. Something that Johnny did the whole game that we had a hard time reacting to. Now that I'm sitting here watching, is Johnny poached a lot of that open space there, and whoever he was poaching wasn't really getting capitalized one way or the other. Which in this case, I think Palms wasn't doing anything bad. I think, but getting a powerful swing over there would have opened things up. And this might be a good time to talk about just like one concept. And this is the reason why we don't really, as an offense, we don't care about losing yards. Because we can see here as a really good example of it. Like I'm here, my defender is here, taking away that open space. I'm just clearing out a spot for Paul to cut. If, for example, TJ had made a big swing over here, the disc travels faster than we can run. That's just how Frisbee works. Suddenly, the field, the open space, is dramatically different because if Johnny reacted to this in any meaningful way, he's either going to drop back or come under. And if, let's just say for argument's sake, that Johnny decided to come up and put on that mark and seal it or whatever, suddenly what happens is I'm cutting back into what is now an open space, and suddenly the defender is artificially made to be out of position, and that's kind of a huge reason why we swing the disc a lot. Maybe that's way more explanation that's needed for a simple concept. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. But that's the reason why swinging the disc is really good. Even if by the time the disc got swung, it went back here and then over like to here-ish, it's still a very advantageous situation, especially for somebody shorter and faster like me or Palms. We will take that every time, and we'll eat that one up because the defender is going to be in a good position against us, and so that just makes it a lot more difficult. And the other huge advantage that an offense has over the defense is the offense has much more situational awareness than the defense. Since, as receivers, we're always looking at the throwers and stuff, whereas the defenders have to spend a lot of time watching us. Because if they don't, we're just going to, take it, make plays on them. I can form words, which I can't. But it's all right. It was a close throw. I don't know if it was really, like, the wrong throw. It was definitely not a super high percentage throw, so maybe... Yeah, it's kind of hard to say for that particular one, because that was also a very good athletic defensive play. Yep, and right here, just to kind of make an idea of what I'm doing here, I'm actually helping with the mark in here, and this is something, it's kind of like a synergy play between TJ and myself, and kind of just we're both seeing and reacting to what's going on. So my receiver is all the way over here. I don't think that, especially after the disc gets moved upfield, I don't think that my guy is a viable threat right now. So at this moment, I don't think they're going to swing it to my guy as an imminent threat. And if they do, that's fine with me. So that's why I took that away there. So it's like, I would rather not give this upline space. I would rather concede that. Yeah, same thing there. I was kind of just trying to take away that space, which it's not always the play. It's very situational. That was a good catch. Really situational based on the team you're playing. For our team, when we were playing their team, we kind of, it depends on the team. You don't always want to be doing that, though. It's kind of for whatever matchups. You don't want to open up something they're going to just beat you down with, too. And arguably, I would say, in general, I need to play more tight defense. But just kind of explaining the reason why, at least, that some of that stuff's happening. Like right there, like I just wanted to be a nuisance, being a hassle for them. That's a good catch. Was that a call? No. No, that was a really good play by Johnny, though. It was a good throw by Kevin. Kevin and Johnny tore us apart this game, especially in the second half. I mean, it's not like they're like only Kevin and Johnny team, but when they are in trouble, I mean, Kevin and Johnny connection is always there, because there's just nobody in the league that can keep those two quiet. So that's the hard thing. I mean, we make fun of them a lot for it, and Kevin's like, we're including our team. It's like, yeah, they are. They do a good job of including their team. It's just that is something that, as a defense, if you don't super prioritize it, it's a bad news bears for you. So it's the only reason to make fun of you, Kevin. You're a good captain. And everybody's offsides every point. I'm pretty sure our team does it too. Until people start doing something about it, it's just kind of whatever. It's as long as it's nothing completely egregious, it's fine. All right, so this is something that I've noticed that I do. I cut, in general, I cut super shallow on my clears. So basically, from the cutter or from the handler position, if you're gonna make a cut, you want to go strike either up here to gain yards, depending on what the downfield is doing. And if it doesn't come to you, then you come back, and then you can get a pass to you. But in general, I do a pretty bad job. I kind of go like very horizontal at it. So by the time I'm here, I don't have a viable cut back. And that's kind of the problem that I have. This time I angled it in because there was a defender in that space, which was a pretty good cut by Elizabeth too. I think it was just a desperation high stall situation. That's why things went where they did. That was a miscommunication between... I thought Matt was going to keep going, and I thought Matt was going to break the plane on Kevin there. But didn't happen, which is fine. I definitely should not have thrown that. And also, if you're going to throw a bad throw, what you never, ever, ever want to do is feel bad for yourself and stand there and be like, oh, that was probably stupid, wasn't it? Because that's happening while you do that. So that was just a mental error. And yeah, Palm was like, Mark, you gonna play defense? And I was like, no. So that's my bad. It feels bad. Not to call myself out too egregiously, but that was absolutely me. So just coaching point, the time to apologize for a bad play is, either never or after the point. If you try to do what I did and feel bad for yourself during the point, you're just gonna make it worse. Because now I had 3 things to apologize for instead of 1. So it's okay though. Yep. And one thing that I do, just to comment, if I'm not throwing to somebody who could potentially get a disc, I like to just fake it at them. So right there, I just did that fake so TJ knows, hey, I'm not getting the disc. Because that's really what I was just communicating to TJ with, because I saw that he was coming up, and I was like, I don't want him to try to make a play on that. So I was like, change direction, go somewhere else. And then I just had an poor accuracy throw. That would have been fine if I would have thrown it higher. I think part of it was mentally I needed to recover from that last mistake, which is a big thing. Just forgive yourself for mistakes. They happen, and don't let them carry over into other points, because your team needs you to be playing like you play. So, right. Cool, that worked out. In general, this is one of the things where we all have our tendencies. Matt's tendency is definitely to throw super high, even though Johnny is going crazy on that. So it was a little scary, but oh well. I mean, if it's that wide open, and it's something where it's like, when I have chill, I don't mean don't throw up field. Because, especially if you're a cutter, and you look up field and you see this, this distance, you see sunshine and rainbows and 4-leaf clovers over here. I mean, yeah, that's a time where you can go ahead and throw it. Because even if it's not the most accurate throw, even if the tempo is a little slower because it hangs in the air, totally fine. So I totally agree with that throw by Matt. So great job. The dancing on this in between these points was great, by the way. Dance moves. Nice, good mark. Yep, good mark. For my positioning here, I stayed off of him, trying to. And my theory was, oops, if I could open my thing, my thinking in doing so was that this is the open space, so I'm going to keep guarding it. But especially when it's Kevin, Kevin does have a really good job of extending that range out and getting low and putting a shot up there. So I really approaching this right here. I should have, to stay in better position, have taken a few steps over, like been standing like right here. If like this is where I'm standing. Yeah, so this is where I should have been standing, just because then if the throw would have come up, I would have already been standing like here. Sometimes it's easy to do. Like if you're a tall person, you play as if you're not as tall as you are. I can't draw, but yeah, like I could have been in a position to take that away. That's way too soft of coverage. Did I need to say that in 5 paragraphs, or could I have said it in 2 sentences? Who's to say? Okay. But yeah. Something as a whole. I think another thing that's kind of to be repeating myself a lot is mental barriers for myself, especially like having recovered from all my COVID stuff. It's just like mentally, I'm in that I can't play. I'm not in the. I don't have the muscle to play a full game sprinting, and I'm gonna like cramp up and stuff if I do. Whereas like I'm not there anymore, and I need to like break through that. It's a me problem. It's not like a physicality problem, because I definitely can. It's just as I talk through everything that's happening here. Let's see. Pass to Elizabeth. I think I put it just in front of her. I think she got her fingertips on it. I definitely could have made that a better throw, though. I think if I'm gonna throw that, I need to have that throw be more accurate. I guess I had to put it a little bit tight because of the other defender there. And if I have to, I might not have. That was kind of a 50-50 in my opinion. I probably shouldn't have thrown it. It's probably too low percentage, but I don't know. I could have just thrown it more accurately too. Once again, I'm not a doctor. Oh yeah, there. I didn't know the disc was in the air right there. That feels bad. Because right here, I didn't know the disc was up, and then I turned and I was like, oh, the disc is in the air. So now instead of being closer to him, I was farther away from him, which feels bad. But I guess kind of going back to the other thing that I kind of have been echoing a lot. If they're going to score with a full field, horizontal high throw like this, I can live with that. I didn't let him throw anything easy here or here. So it's kind of, from a defensive perspective, throwing him into the wall like that, that's a lower percentage throw. So I guess even having contested it less than I could have, I can live with that. Because, the game's rigged. It's part of the game. The other thing that we do not do great as a team or even a league is prioritizing positioning early. The disc is up, and we are all, especially me, just slow walking or jogging to where we want to go. If we hustle to our spot, we get a free pass right here, upfield. Like, we could have started from, like, right about there. So, that's another thing, too. Oof. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of hard, especially because, like, I don't know. I think my cutting needs some work, especially here, because I didn't know exactly what role I was filling. I didn't need to cut all the way through Kevin there. I could have just stopped right there and gone back, because I kind of had already made my point that, like, I'm just compressing to Kevin so I can get some separation to the other side. Not sure what was called there. Ooh, nice job cleaning up there. Almost a super nice catch by Aaron. Not sure if that needed to be quite so high, but maybe did. Who knows? Yeah, sorry, the commentary is a little bit more empty. I'm trying to I guess actually focus on offense. I don't know. Or defense. I don't even know what I'm focusing on. Again, I don't come in here with the plan. Excuse me. Yeah, so it looked like we had a hard time setting up our defense. I don't even know where our fifth defender is. There might have been a miscue there. I can't even tell. And that's rough. Good job by Matt contesting this throw coming up, recognizing it. Only so much you can do there. I guess that was a really good throw. And again, that's kind of the thing that their team does have as the be all end all of, you always have that to fall back on. So that is what it is. I'm not gonna be upset about that or anything. And oh yeah, this is where Paul touches the pool. And you can actually very clearly see what happened here. He's good. I trust him to catch pulls. It's just right as he catches it, you can actually see perfectly. He breaks his concentration during the catch. He's already looking to see where the disc is going. And because his concentration gets broken then, yeah, you can perfectly see right there. Coaching point is just, like, Paul, I trust you to catch this disc. No problem. I want you to catch him in the future. Just look at the disc all the way through and then look up. No problem. It's easy to do, especially when you start getting tired. Yeah, you're just looking to where you're going to throw it before you catch it, which is what it is. Good job resetting the disc by the offense there. You want to swing it, get it open. Good job by TJ. Bailing his boys out. Aggressive catch up field, though. That was awesome. I was fired up after that. A little bit scary of a throw, but I mean, honestly, that's kind of the name of the game sometimes. I don't know. I don't want to. It's kind of hard because like when we say like have chill on offense, there's a very fine line between like taking away some of those lower percentage throws, but also you do want to take chances sometimes as a whole. I mean, what is a chance is kind of a subjective term, but like you don't want to paralyze yourself and never throw anything because it lets the defense get a lot more comfortable. Yeah, they just want to look at Paul. Paul's looking good right now. There we go. Yep. So far, I think that was good offense and good defense as a whole. I don't think there's anything particularly seen to talk about. As far as Johnny just sitting in the middle, we've kind of, as a team, yeah, we definitely give him a lot of cushion. And that's kind of just because it's Johnny, which, I think there's a balance between how much do we trust our legs to contest against him. And okay, yeah. I guess to summarize what I was saying there's a line between what's too much of a cushion, what's not enough. Because if we're gonna concede unders for free, that might not be the play, especially for somebody like when we got like Paul, who I trust Paul. I might want to play that a little tighter, so at least you can maybe discourage him from throwing that. As my handler defense, I was looking upfield. You see how I was looking upfield over here. My concentration on Kevin was broken. And while I did that, I looked over here. I didn't notice Kevin start his break. So by the time I recognized it, Kevin already had a huge momentum advantage on me. Where it's not even like a speed problem. It's just like a momentum problem. And I just couldn't react in time. So that was a mental error on my part. The coaching point is on defense, you steal glances at the disc and upfield. And your focus is always on the hips of your defender. Doesn't mean you should be looking upfield. And you should be looking around, but you're stealing those glances. They're up, every second you do it, it's borrowed time. So you always want to be very quick and not linger there. That's kind of what TJ talked to me about, or just kind of said, it's fine. It's again, it's not a big deal. It's easy to make those mistakes. Just try to learn from them. Yeah, Vince putting in some sprinting right there. Yeah, it looked like Kevin ran into him. Oh yeah, did Kevin get hurt? Oh, rip. I don't even remember this game all that clearly. It's been a little over a week. All right, we're gonna skip the injury. All right, so after that, then I just make a cut around, kind of into the open space. Maybe that wasn't the best place for me to be going. It's okay, it worked out, but I probably should not have made that cut. That really was not the play. I either need to be making a strike or clearing break side. Those are kind of the two things that I should be looking at. But it's okay. Yep. No, that was okay defense. That was at least forcing it to be not quite as pretty. Right here, this is something I was trying to yell slide right, slide right. This is the case where we're forcing flick, and so we kind of want, as a defense, us to be standing more like here-ish. If I can draw like here-ish instead of here, to not allow that around. But we did force the super dump, which is, if they're gonna dump, the super dump is definitely ideal. I think there's a contested foul there, which is fine. One thing as far as and then this might be the theme of it. Elizabeth is doing the exact same thing that I did. She's looking at the disc while her receiver is kind of going. So then she looks up and says, "Oh, I just got beat into that force side," which is fine. I mean, I obviously just did the same thing with Kevin, so it happens. So that's the thing. You steal glances. Yeah, I think if Elizabeth took like a half step to her right, when she was marking, that would be probably be ideal. That throw was a little forced. I don't know what the stall was. I'm not gonna go back and try to count seconds, but yeah, I think at that point we probably should have had, or they probably should have had some handler initiation there to get that off. They had good handler motion at the team though, but that's kind of why that throw got forced for the turnover. Yeah, no, that all looks great. Just good patience by Palms. Palms, wait, let me back up to where it actually happened. Yeah, Palms comes up here. He looks up. He sees the pass going to TJ. Recognizes his defender is facing the wrong way. So when I say facing the wrong way, Vince actually did, to his credit, Vince did a good job because it's a home force right now, and Vince is on the home side. If I can get these colors right, Vince is on the home side of his receiver. The only thing is his hips are facing, if I can get the right colors, the defender's hips are facing this way, whereas the receiver's hips are facing that way. So whenever Palm starts making a cut, before Vince can start keeping up with him, he has to turn around and then go, and that takes more time. And you can actually perfectly see right there that happen. Palms is running, and Vince's hips are turning, and now Vince gets his momentum going, which for somebody swirly like Palms is just not quite enough, which I will give Vince complete credit. He did do the fundamentals there of staying on the correct side, so good for you on that one. Keep your chin up on that. That's the only real coaching point. Just be careful where your hips are, and especially when you're guarding somebody quick. But no, that was a great cut. That was textbook. That's exactly what we want. Yeah, and this is right back to what I was saying before, where I would prefer Elizabeth takes probably a full step to be standing in this space to kind of take this space away. So any throws that come off have to be either around to that four side or around to the break side. That's kind of what we want. Especially, I mean, I should have recognized it, but the issue that we had here was just all that Kevin really had to do was take a few steps back because I put myself out of position for that, and I didn't react to it. So right here, the throw comes up, and I'm just hopelessly too late to make a play on that, which, it's fine. And in the ultimate dose of karma for me calling out Elizabeth, I do the exact same thing. So I guess that is a thing. That's the thing we all need to work on. So that's fine. I definitely should have not been on it, and then I did the exact same thing twice in a row. So, lesson learned. The fundamentals, especially when you get tired, it's easy to lose them. Yep. So right here, what I would like to see personally is unless there's somebody here, I can't see what's happening, but unless there's somebody like right here on our team, I would like to see Palms just kind of come right back and get the disc again. Let's get this disc off the sideline early when we're on the forced sideline, because right now the force is away towards the camera. So our working space is very short, a very short lane to work with. So, I can say like as much as I want, but this is all we have to work with, and we have all this other space over here that is just like dead. And I would like to get it off the sideline if we could. I think that's the play, because then we don't have to force anything. Even though that could have been a good throw. I didn't like that at all. Diving into the wall, but yeah, and it's hard to know. I would say for Paul, the coaching point, if you're confident with that throw's accuracy, I don't think you're necessarily wrong to make it. If you're not 100% with that throw to go where you want it to go, there's no shame in holstering something just because you're not, confident in the throw. There's no problem with that. I don't like that dive, TJ. Check yourself before you wreck yourself, son. But yeah, that's the only real coaching point. If you throw something you're not confident with, the defense is winning. So, and I can't answer that for you, Paul. That's kind of a decision that you can kind of make. But you never have, just because something's open deep, you never have to throw it. there's never any problem with just, swinging it right back to a handle and moving on with your day. All right, I had to cut again. I had some notifications pop up that took up my whole screen. So whatever. Right here, yeah, the only thing we did here is downfield, two things for Elizabeth here, letting the receiver get behind you and then to the fore side of you. Those are the two things you want to be careful about doing, because that was just a case of chasing our receiver in. The receiver's making some motion here. As a defender, instead of following the receiver this way, we want to anticipate that play. And when we're here, what we want to do is position our bodies here. So the receiver's here, defender's here. That way, if she wants to make a cut to the space or deep, you're right there in front of it the whole way. So that's the only real coaching point. You just kind of followed her in there, kind of let it go off. It was a hard throw too, I guess, because it was a shed catch overhead. But that's the only real coaching point. I think Kevin just beat me because Kevin's better than me. I don't know what happened there. I didn't get a good look. That's a little goofy. Yeah. And that is kind of back to the one of our vices things where if you're gonna throw deep, and I think this is actually a good example. If you're gonna throw deep and you're not super confident with the throw accuracy and precision, there's no shame in holstering this. Because right here, this is a thing where if it's gonna hang high without tempo, this is tight enough that it ends up mattering because Paul's not able to really get in there. So in that situation, what I would like to see is right here, just a holster, and let's just reset the disc here. There's no need to force it. Now, if Paul were here and Kevin were here, I would say you do definitely throw it, as long as it's like an accurate throw then, because from this distance, then Paul has it. But when they're really close to each other, like, Kevin's here and Paul's here, I would say that's probably kind of forcing it, because it has to be an accurate throw with tempo. Just play within your means. Like, we don't got to score. Now we can score in a few points. That's kind of what Paul's saying there. Just play chilly. Yeah, and again, this is the biggest problem we had in this game. It's very hard to mark up on Johnny, because you can see here we're just giving him such a big cushion. We probably gave him more of a cushion than he needed, but that was good. That was up. I was behind on my guy, but I was totally ready to eat that up. Intelligent decision to not throw that. I think also just Johnny knows me, but previous passes in the league have had that go up. I was playing loose defense here. I wasn't expecting this throw to come up. I saw there's action over here. I forget who else is over here, but there are a few people in this area, so I lingered. I wasn't ready for the mark to be here, so this throw here could come up as a quick throw. Because for normal defensive principles, for what I'm, like mentally what I'm thinking about is, if there's a throw to my guy on the wall there, if there's a normal mark, the throw is going to have to be over him and it's going to linger, or he's going to have to step out really wide and try to throw something. And either of those gives me time to come in and pick it up. I don't mean to be talking about myself all the time. I know what I was thinking during the point, so it's easier for me to talk as if I'm smart. You know what I mean? It's harder to know what other people are thinking as they're playing. Yeah, I think that was good. I mean, I think Aaron might have given him a little bit too much to the foresight, but that was a little bit of a... That was a really hard throw, so I don't think there's anything natively wrong with doing that. Yeah, so right here, this is one of those situations where Aaron... This is a very high-stress situation, and Aaron's getting used to handling, so she wasn't quite ready to know what to do. I need to be cutting aggressively to get open. I was gonna let that get pumped off and then go, but I didn't cut immediately, so she kind of panicked and threw it high. What I needed to do 2.5 stalls ago was take a hard step and just cut up field like this. And if my defender stays back, then it's a free pass that I get up line. If my defender stays up with me, I can either slam on the brakes and come back, or I can look up and see that Palms is there. And after I make my cut, pretending that I am taken, I'm just going to keep going deep. And then I'm going to trust that Palms will be able to fill in that space there. That was the only real problem with that, which, it happens. We're learning. We're a learning team. That's not a problem. Yeah, Paul. Yeah, it was upsetting, but I kind of told Erin as she's coming off. I was like, hey, you're good. You're good. I get that. We put you in that situation. We want you to learn from these situations. So that's the only thing. And if you're ever in a situation where it is a high stall, I don't think the stall was 6 at the time, but it might have been stall 4 or 5. So I was definitely super late. But if you're ever in a situation where I bumped the button, when you're in trouble and you're absolutely, they said stall 6, nobody's moving, nobody's open. All you do is you wind up and you throw as deep and as far as you can, and it's just a punt. That's only the real coaching point. I think us as cutters, we kind of let you down there, Erin. So don't beat yourself up on that one. That was definitely, we could have cut a lot better. So that's fine. But yeah, that's all the coaching point. If you ever do find yourself in a situation where it's like, I'm gonna get stalled, there's nowhere for me to throw it, just punt. Make them work the whole field. That is no problem. And this is once again, this is a thing where, okay, I guess that worked out. Just having somebody there available. We need to swing a lot earlier as a team. I've said that like 20 times this video. Yeah, good job by Paul pulling this guy back. Here, I need to be looking around. Oh, I did. Okay, never mind. I'm good. I'm clean. Paul and I both didn't need to both come back. That's fine. I guess it worked out. Just a miscommunication between Paul and myself. Both of us thought that we were going to be the reset. So, that's fine. We ended up getting the wall, the outdoor. That's the easiest catch of all time. Totally going to throw the disc. That's funny. And this is where the photo finish came in this game. Where, 30-something seconds on the clock. We get the turn, and we just can't quite connect right here. It would have been easier if we were facing the clock. I actually turned and looked at the clock. Just taking our time. No need. We just had a miscommunication. And yeah, TJ knew it. And this is actually the moment that I think cost us really. This shot shouldn't have happened at all. This is between Palms and myself, both of us. It's hard because we didn't have time to think about this, and this is an unusual situation because only in indoor does the play die immediately on the buzzer. Right here, Palms and I both recognize it's going to Johnny. We both recognize it's too late for us to go help. Both of us needed to be sprinting up to Kevin as hard as we can and just double team him. It is not a foul to double team if there's no stall, and that's what Palms and I should have done. That's the coaching point. Now, once you have time to think about it, in the shower, you finally think of that comeback you should have said, and, it would have been the ultimate diss. But we both needed to be hauling it to get in Kevin's face, and just no throw comes up. That is the priority. No, don't even try to put a stall. And neither of us did, and that's why Kevin got an accurate throw up, and it cost us the game. Which, that's a thing. Kevin and Johnny together are devastating, but congrats to them. They definitely deserve this victory. The whole team did. But that's the biggest coaching point for the end of game situation. The fact that I was standing here. I can choose colors. Yeah, but I was here. Palms is here. Like, this is not a viable throw right now. There's like 5 seconds on the clock. So like really what needed to happen was I needed to be standing here Palms needed to be standing here. We both needed to have our hands up, just like taking this away. Because, you can't call a double team if you're not putting a stall. So that's the coaching point. You hate to see it, but oh well. Congrats to Kevin's team for winning that. I think they got a new name. I listened to the podcast. I forget what it was. Something Swingers. It was Salty Swingers or something. I probably butchered it. But yeah, anyway, that's all I got. I guess the moral of the story is, I say way too much right now. On offense, only throw what you're confident throwing. You never have to make a throw. Even if it's open, you don't have to make a throw. Just hit the open hands with throws that you're confident making. As handlers, it's our job to get it open for you. On defense here, between Palms and myself, we clean that up. I think we get in overtime. We have a good chance of winning it. But nail biter of a game. That was the most fun I've had in a game in a long time, even though it didn't go our way. I think that's a fun thing about this league. I want a team that's fun to lose with. I want to win, but like having a team that's fun and playing against a team where it's just a fun game. That's why I like this league. That's all I got. So until next time, take care.